All right, welcome to Wednesday's health lesson. So, yesterday you were working on being able to do the different workouts, and you're still going to be doing that, like, still be doing the workouts. Please and thank you. I want you to try to ideally be having it where, at least the school days, having it where you're doing workouts on all of the school days. That would be my goal for you. But again, keeping in mind there's other ways to keep active too. So if you're going for walks, bike rides, hikes, um, jumping on a trampoline, things like that, those all count as physical activity as well. But anyways, putting that aside, now we're going to be talking about the calm down techniques. And so you're going to do the exact same thing that you did last week. What I expect you to do is look up calm down techniques. I want you to have it where you're going to see what's out there. What ideas are there for you to use to help calm things down? And I'll admit, like, even for myself, I'm still figuring that out too. Like, there's so much out there, and some of it will be helpful and some of it will not be. That's okay. It's all about getting a chance to just explore and see what works for you. And you'll even find that sometimes there's things that work for you right now, and that's great, that's fantastic. But then you might find as you get older or just things change, of what's going on around you, whatever, that sometimes it doesn't work as well as it used to. Maybe you need to try something different, and that's okay too. It just simply means that you're learning to pay attention to what your body's needing, to what your heart, your soul, your spirit, your mind needs. And I find for myself, I like to look at it as seasons, that there's sometimes different strategies that will work really well for different seasons. And I find that, there's a time where listening to, let's say, the guided relaxation scripts were exactly what I needed, because I didn't know how to do that for myself. I didn't know how to calm things down. I didn't know how to get out of my head, especially at nighttime. Like, I just felt like, oh, I felt so powerless. And then as time went on, and as I started to pay more attention to what was going on inside me, as I was learning how to take control of my thoughts, all that kind of stuff, I actually found that I still listen to some of those guided relaxation scripts sometimes, or I'll listen to certain music that will help calm me down. But I actually find sometimes now I just kind of look for more silence and having it where I find a way to just get quiet, and I start, like, just seeing what's going on inside and finding ways to just show unconditional love to myself and compassion, and just, like, claim God's truth over myself. And I find that is powerful. And so it can change just depending on what you need in what season, and that's okay. Anyways, moving on. That was my little rabbit trail there. Enjoy. So over here, you're going to be back on the same document that you were doing last time. So that's the Calm Down Techniques journal. You should have been making a copy of it and having it where you have your name in front of it. So if you can't find it, then what I suggest you do is open up Google Docs. And what you can do is, the way you find that out, and I'm just going to move that out of the way. If you have it where you open up a new page, and these these dots here, you just click on Docs, and then you would have it where you click on that, and then in the search bar you would have it where you would search up Calm Down, or even just techniques. Even that would probably bring up the document. And so have it where your name needs to go at the top, but that's the only place you really need it. You should already have this filled in from this last Wednesday. This should be filled in. You should have had one calm down technique that you tried, and then tell me whether or not you would recommend it. What did you find what did you find helpful about that technique? Is there anything that you did not find helpful? And then how effective was it altogether in just helping to calm down your body and your mind? Exact same thing, but this time it needs to be a different technique. So let's say if you tried something last week that worked really well for you, fantastic. Go ahead, keep doing it. But I want you to also try something new now, and just to see if it works or not. So maybe last time you decided to choose to try the guided, because I was talking about this earlier, the guided relaxation scripts. Let's say you tried that last week. This week, maybe you could have it where you practice things like drawing or coloring. And you know me, I am not a drawer. I do not know how to draw very well. It is not my forte. But what I have heard is that coloring can actually help calm the mind down. Just getting a coloring book and doing just that repetitive action of coloring inside the spaces there, that can actually be really beneficial in calming things down. Although for me, I kind of need to get a new coloring book because the one I have is the adult one and it's too hard. There's too many small spaces and it stresses me out. But all that to say is just that simple repetitive motion of moving a pencil across the paper can be very calming. So for me, maybe I would have it where this week I tried drawing or coloring. For me, I'd choose coloring, obviously. And maybe I would go get a coloring book, or I would just print off some pages from the internet that look fun to color in. And then I would just say, calm down technique I tried, coloring in a coloring book or something like that. And then I would tell what I do recommend about it. I would say if there's anything about that technique that I did not find helpful. So for me, when I was talking about coloring in that one adult, it's like this nice flower coloring book, but it's for adults, and so it's a lot harder. And so that's what I would put down here. Like I would say anything about this technique that did not find helpful. For me, I'd actually choose simpler pictures to color in. So then that way I don't have to be as concerned about coloring inside the lines. That would be my thing that I would mention there. And then as far as how effective it is overall, I could rank that as far as what I did try. Was it helpful in calming me down? So that's what you're going to be doing as well. You don't have to choose the coloring. You can choose something totally different. But the point of the matter is that you are having it where you are going to be choosing something new, giving it a good solid try. I want you to try it a few times. And then you're going to fill in this logbook. All right, so the same one as last time. I want you to have it where you tried it at least 4 times, ideally on different days, but it could also be where you do a couple times in one day. Just try to space it out. And then you should be trying to spend at least 5 minutes doing this. Some of those techniques might be longer. I'd say between 5 and 20 minutes is ideal. And then fill this out. Let me know what you tried, how many times you did it, how much time altogether do you think that you spent doing it each time. So for me, if I was doing coloring, I'd be like, well, I spent about 10 minutes each time. Okay. And then have it where you tell me how you would rank it as far as being able to calm you down, and then would you recommend it? So same thing as last time. Have fun with that. I'm hoping you find some really good tools to be able to just help calm things down as needed. And or maybe for some of you who are more musically inclined, you might have it where you play the piano, you might have it where you listen to music, you might play the guitar, whatever it might be. But it's going to be fun just seeing what you can come up with, especially when you try to do things that you don't normally do for calming down. And you never know, you might find something that actually works really well for you. And that's my hope, is that from all of this, you'll come up with a few things that help you and maybe in turn might help other people as well. And that's the hope, that's the goal here.